Story about how one restaurant chain's helping folks battle hunger.
That's right, and we caught up with Chelsea just a few minutes ago, and here's what she had to say. We're joined now by Rock Center's Chelsea Clinton. Thanks for joining us, Chelsea.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about the restaurant chain and how it's helping the poorer citizens with that struggle with hunger.
Oh, it's an extraordinary story. Darden Restaurants owns some of the most well-known and beloved brands in our country, Olive Garden, Red Lobster, Longhorn Steakhouse. And in 2004, they decided to take what had been sort of random acts of kindness from individual restaurant managers donating food that had never left the kitchen to local food banks and make it a company-wide program. And so what has happened over the last 8 years is that Darden has donated 53 million pounds of food, which is the equivalent of feeding 15,000 families of 4, 3 square meals a day for an entire year. And we have the highest levels of hunger in our country that we've ever experienced. There's some 50 million odd Americans who don't know where their next meal is coming from, 16 million of whom are kids. And so what Darden is doing is making a very real difference, and I hope that people will watch the piece tonight and think about how they, if they own a restaurant or work in a restaurant, can do something similar, or how we each can make a difference just even in our own homes.
What drew you to this particular cause? I mean, with all the plights that we have going on in the country, what was it about the plight of hunger among children especially that really drew you to want to cover this story?
And I think it's unacceptable that in the wealthiest country on earth, about 1 in 6 Americans is facing, the real question of where their next meal is coming from, and that we have the highest number of kids who are on free and reduced lunch plans, the highest number of kids who are on free and reduced breakfast plans, and yet 40% of the food that is produced in America every year goes to waste. And so there has to be a better way to get the food that isn't being served in restaurants, isn't being sort of prepared or served at home, to the people who really need it. And what we see and what Darden is doing around the country is that there really are very real solutions, and there are local food bank partners to help in Dayton and around the country to ensure that the food gets to where it's needed most.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Chelsea, so much for giving us that information. We'll be sure to tune in tonight at 9 p.m. to Rock Center to watch your package on that. Thanks so much, Chelsea.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Thank you very much.